I think today, because my favorite song can change on a regular basis, I would say Fountain of Youth. It is just such an emotional piece for me.
I'd have to say Resist. And a close second would be The Mirage. Neck and neck.
I would probably say Resist, which Victor might be surprised about. But there were just so many vocals and this kind of repeating, moving vocal line that was hard to sing sometimes. So Resist was a challenge.
I would have to say that probably the most challenging one to record was Going, Going, because there was a lot of things going.
Well, Victor and I would probably say the same answer for this one, and that is Fate. Fate was quite the journey. We spent a whole day trying to figure that out.
I would say Fate was the hardest one to write, just because it was just challenging, but totally worth it.
Is it weird to cry at your own songs? Yeah, on an emotional level, I would say that Fountain of Youth affects me the most. It just puts me in a very nostalgic place, a place of reflection.
On an emotional level, I really think Fountain of Youth speaks to me. That there's something about it that just invites reflection and thinking about things that have been important in my life.
Viktor Krauss. What do I admire most about Viktor Krauss? Well, for one, he's a genius. And I don't say that word lightly. He is an actual genius. Look at this room that we're sitting in. Evidence of a genius. I admire his talent. He can play every single instrument in the world. You know that Viktor Krauss is a bass player, but he can actually, he plays the keys, incredible. He plays the guitar, he plays everything. Something else that I really admire about Viktor is his kind way of pushing me. I usually write songs that are ballads and kind of stick to this, you put yourself in a bit of a box as a songwriter, and he just took me out of it. And I didn't know that I was capable of writing something funky or something that's not a sad love song. I've never made music in this way. Usually you're in the studio with a band and you have all these different people to bounce things off of. And it was just the two of us in this room right here, just the two of us for hours and days. And we just had to really get in there and talk and connect and listen. And I just learned so much from him. His attention to detail is like nothing I've ever seen. Sometimes it drives me crazy, but nothing would make sense if he didn't pay attention to it the way that he does. So he's one of a kind.
I mean, it was such a thrill to work with Heather on this album. The thing that I found immediately about her is that there's just an endless source of creativity. And once it's time to sing or do something, it's so important. You can just tell that she absolutely loves it. And it kind of draws you into it. For me, it just made me want to do as good of a job as I possibly could, because I can realize and see how important it is for music to speak to her. Also, just being able to take me in directions that I would not be able to do on my own, and willingness to go totally left of center and being open to it or inviting that made it challenging and rewarding and fun.